Hello guys. As you know, as soon as I get updates, I'm always going to update you guys because this situation or this incident, everyone is involved. Everyone who have a heart in that space in them chest is feeling this one. So I know everybody is anxious to out hear everything that comes out about this case. And I'm here to inform you about more updates. First, I have to say, Leoda Bradshaw is one evil from the pit of hell, dangerous, wicked woman, empty as a shell, no heart, no lungs, no nothing. You hear me tell you? That woman don't even deserve air that she breathe. The more I get the updates, is the more angry I'm feeling that she may go to prison and eat taxpayers' money, get free food in there. No, that should not be. I wish if them could just charge her and just give her to us. Honestly, I say me angry for her. Remember me tell you. Me angry for her. I think about the little 10-year-old baby. And when I think about her mother, remember say, you know, a young man go look woman, you know. It not have nothing to do with them, you know, apart from them find out about each other after, you know. You talk to your man about that. And where does the audacity of Leoda Bradshaw though? Where does she get off though doing something like this? Because remember, so the man was a married man when she first started fool around with him. Yeah? And then when the wife step aside, she take over the wife position. So she did really think say that the space where she left vacant, nobody was going to fill it. Just like how she stepped over in her first lady position, she left the second lady position vacant. A second lady was going to go into that position. She's very selfish and evil. Now, I did not want to do any more upload until when the DNA test was done on the burnt remains that they found in Warwick Hill. There, so we can say definitely say yes, they are gone. Because I know many people like myself are still holding on to a ray of hope that it's possible that somehow they are still alive. You understand? But right now, it is almost certain they are not. I have damning information to give you guys as I go along, but I'm going to have to give you a little of the police's report as well. So let me get into the sauce. A lucky break and an investigation which would rival the best in the world have left the police confident that they have cracked the case of the abduction and suspected taking out of the 10-month-old daughter of Member of Parliament Phillip Paulwell and her mother Tashayna Patterson. In an almost unprecedented move, Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of crime Fitz Bailey on Friday named Leoda Bradshaw, even though she was not charged, as the main suspect in the abduction and suspected killing of 27-year-old Tashayna Patterson and her 10-month-old daughter Sarayah Paulwell. Bailey did not name any of the three men who are also in custody in connection with the abduction of the daughter of Paulwell. The Kingston East and Port Royal Member of Parliament and her mother, we think in the case of Miss Bradshaw, we have evidence that we could advance a case at this time, but we want to ensure that we cross every T and dot every I. And so there are a number of things that are ongoing, and so we want to ensure that those have come to a conclusion before we proceed with the formal charging of her, DCP Bailey said. Now, remember guys, I told you that they found burnt remains in Warwicker Hill. Of course, one of the men in custody on the same charges of the abduction of the baby and her mother led them to that area. Okay. You ever stop to think about it? Warwicker Hill, that area, you know, is the Phillip Paulwell is the member of parliament for that area, you know. So she did all this and go put them in the man area. I hope that he does not know anything about this, and I really do hope so. But what I understand is that Leoda Bradshaw is from that area, and she has family members from that area. You know, say a bad people place that. So she is actually from there. So even though she might have a high flying career and so on, it's like they would have said, you take the pig out of the mud, but you can't stop him from go walla in it same way. This is the perfect example, this case, because she's from that area and her family is from that area. So they have done bad people them already. So now, because she wants her deeds done, she draw back on how her growing up, the era, the things them she used to, and she do act like this. Because if this was no posh girl from the beginning and so on, this would be too much for them to do. Another thing, Leoda Bradshaw is an Excelsior old girl. She used to go to Excelsior school. Anyway, we think in the case of Miss Bradshaw, we have evidence that we could advance a case at this time, but we want to ensure that we cross every T and dot every I. And so there are a number of things that are ongoing, and so we want to ensure that those have come to a conclusion before we proceed with formal charges for her, DCP Bailey said. According to Bailey, the police are looking at charges of kidnapping, conspiracy to murder, and other charges against Bradshaw and the three men. The evidence that we have is very strong, and we will show the administrative procedures to be concluded before we make that determination, as there are legal issues that basically prevent us from saying much more. But I am convinced that we are on the right track. I'm convinced about the quality of evidence, about the potency of evidence. I'm convinced when I look at the material that the evidence we have garnered so far is very strong and can stand up to any scrutiny in any court of law, added Bailey as he commented. The Jamaica Constabulary Force members who are conducting the investigation, Bailey commented, commendation to the investigators was echoed. Sources hours later said the lucky break came when police accessed a private video of Patterson and her daughter entering a grave sub on the day they were abducted. Let me interject here. Rumor has it that, you see, that vehicle belonged to Mr. Phillip Paulwell. It's alleged. And as current to what that voice message going around is that Phillip Paulwell was out jogging. So she called a hitman, let him take the vehicle to go and pick up Miss Patterson and the baby. So you people wondering why she just run out there and when she see the vehicle come to the gate, because the baby mother came. The reason why she was so glad to go to the vehicle, because the vehicle was Minister Paulwell's vehicle. So I guess she felt comfortable to go out there, and that is what they tricked her with. Anyway, that man is said to have allegedly taken out the mother and her child. But in a crazy twist of fate, guess what? Leoda Bradshaw is a devious woman. Because she wanted to make sure there was no evidence, she hired a second man to take out the first man. Because she don't want the first man to have no evidence to tie her to the situation. So she get a second man to take out the first man. But the second man miss. So the first man realizing that that's what she's doing, him run go to the police, go confess everything, carry voice note, carry messages and everything to the police. So guess what happened? That is the lucky break. When you hear the police them talk about the lucky break and how the case just come together so well. Because guess what happened? She was trying to turn on the first hitman that she sent to go pick up the mother, Miss Patterson and little Sarayah. Can you imagine somebody for really sit down and some vicious woman that, you know? For she sit down and concoct all of that. Funny thing though is that everything, the whole thing conveniently, Minister Phillips was not around here. He was out jogging. So vehicle left and gone about it business and do whatever and so on. So he don't know about it. And the next thing about it, based on the voicemail too, is that she was always a step ahead of the police. Because when the police talking to Mr. Phillip Paulwell, she is at his house. You understand? I was a bit confused about that because rumor had it that while Philip was locked away at home, I guess mourning over his beloved daughter and baby mother being missing, Lisa Anna they were trying to get through to him and couldn't get through to him, and Lisa Anna went to the house. So it's alleged that she went to the house and helped him tidy up the place and cook all soup for him, and then she ordered food and called other they call it member of parliaments and so on, you know, them comrades to come up there, come lively him up and talk to him. So I begin to think, well, if Lisa Anna did that, where was the woman? Was it because they are saying that she was staying with him at the house? But at the end of the day, I'm thinking, when Lisa Anna went up there, and so where was the woman? Anyway, I want some smart detective to unscramble that one for me. But based on the voice note going around now, is that everything that the police do and every step the police take, they were calling Mr. Phillip Paulwell and telling him, and she was there hearing everything. So she was always moving ahead of what the police were doing and how to stay very careful. Boy, what a tangled web, man. However, as I continue, they said the video did not show the license number of the vehicle, but it was enough for them to narrow down their search for the two, said the source. In addition, the detectives utilized technology to track the use of Patterson's cellular phone to determine that it was last used in an Upper St. Andrew community at a site where Bradshaw's phone was active at the same time. So you see, I'm telling you how technology could play a part, because even in the case with medics, it's just that because everything was so secretive, nobody really know directly whose phone them to match it with to say if it was in the cell site. Because every cell site carry a whole heap of people. Everybody will live in another area that use a cell site there. But you can find phones if you know which phone to look for. So in Medic's case, you can look for it and say, oh, Medic's phone was bouncing off this site. But if you don't know another person's number or a person number to look for, you can't know if the other person's number is bouncing off the site. You understand? You have to can isolate and know exactly what number you're looking for, because there are going to be thousands of other people numbers that are going to bounce off them site once they pass through or they live in the area. So the good thing is that the new Bradshaw number, the new Phillips number, the new the baby mother Miss Patterson number. So obviously they're going to check those specific, and they did find that Miss Bradshaw phone number and Miss Patterson phone number were at the same site, and Miss Bradshaw phone was actively in use. So armed with this information, the investigator linked a series of calls between Bradshaw and the men now in custody, because obviously they are going to find out who she was calling so on rapid succession. You understand? So those calls reportedly intensified on the day Patterson and sarayah were abducted. It appeared it was a jealousy played a big part in the plot concocted to abduct and murder the mother and her child, source said. One of the men in custody is a family member of Bradshaw, and it is suspected that he was the point man in the crime, source added. The investigators have seen nothing to link MP to the plot, and it appears that Minister Paulwell is as much a victim as his missing baby and mother. The source added on Friday, news surfaced that the burnt remains believed to be that of Peterson and sarayah had been found in a secluded area in Rockford in Paulwell's constituency, but the police later dismissed that claim. What the investigators found when they went to the area, based on solid information, was burnt remains of what they believed to be human bodies. But up to now, it has not been determined if they are human remains, and it will take extensive DNA checks to prove if they are the mother and child. So you see how it was easy for the police investigating team to garner the information, because since she decided to turn on not the first hitman, what he did, he just go to the police station and led the police to find all these evidence. And then of course you would see the connection, the links between his phone, the calls between them, and all that playing out on the phone, voice messages, etc. And there was even a video of them taking the mother and the baby somewhere, but I don't hear a lot about the video. But that woman is cruel. That woman is vicious, man. You mean she get hitman number 1 and get hitman number 2 to take up back hitman number 1? What a bangarang. It is natural that the investigators will be cautious before making any pronouncement, because they do not want the family, including Paulwell, to lose hope that they will be found alive, added the source. That is the thing why, as I said, I didn't want us to come back and do an update until when we get the DNA results, but the different informations keep coming in pieces, so you know me have to update you as we go along. You understand? So I think right here what the police is saying is that they want to still have a ray of hope until the DNA comes in. Up to press time, there was no word from the police if Bradshaw, who was put through a vigorous question and answer session in the presence of her lawyer on Saturday, or any of the 3 male suspects had been charged. Bradshaw has repeatedly denied having anything to do with the disappearance of the mother and child. As she said, "I will continue to pray for the safe return of Miss Patterson and her baby," and she's asking anyone with information to contact the police. Remember that famous statement that she made? No, if ever I have seen more wickedness, this is it. And to think that this supposed to be a woman, this is absolutely crazy. If anybody did wake me up out of my sleep and give me that whole story here without me seeing it played out, I would have said, "Listen to me, man, go back to sleep, you're dream." But to think how vicious she is, I'm wondering if it's the first she ever done anything like this. Because remember, say man a old girl is, you know, we not even know if any woman we just actually get taken out if it have any connection. Because if you're not known, because if this girl never have a baby for Paulwell, you know, she would be so relevant to be known. So we wonder if she ever do any taking out of anybody for him before. You know what I mean? You have to think all kind of things. Because me can't stop say this woman hired a hitman to take out mother and daughter because it was around the time when the DNA test supposed to be done of the baby with Phillip Paulwell to be sure. So she used that kind of style on the mother and say, we're going to do the DNA to confirm everything and so on. And friend the girl, you come all the way from foreign, come to Jamaica, come friend up the girl, to take the girl life. You is a wicked woman. And then to top it off, this is like a some big movie scripting. Somebody need to do a movie off of this. Because check this. She hire a hitman to take them out. And they hire another hitman to take out the hitman who take them out. You know get what I'm saying? Me say no sir guys. I tell you, say this thing is going to dominate October. Because lo and behold, if the unthinkable information ever come out, because we don't want to think, dear saying, the idea of thinking, did Phillip Paulwell know? Did he suspect? You understand what I mean? How did he address the situation when he found out she may be a suspect? These are a lot of questions and a lot of little information is going to be coming out. And so stay tuned guys. I will keep you guys updated. Guys, please remember to like, comment and subscribe to my platform, please. Anyway guys, love you all. Bye for now.